Jambo wa Afrika. Hello Africa.
Hello and welcome. Today we will look at the 8 most famous gods in African myth. We will explore the rich and diverse mythologies of the African continent and introduce you to some of the most well-known deities in African mythologies. Before we dive into the list, let's first talk about the concept of gods and goddesses in African mythologies. In many African cultures, gods and goddesses are revered as powerful and influential forces in the natural world and human experiences. They are often depicted as representing different aspects of the world around us, such as the sun, the moon, the earth, and the sky. Since many African societies did not use written language until modern times, rich and complex oral traditions, including myths, legends, and histories, are passed from generation to generation verbally. In many cultures, professional storytellers exist to preserve the oral tradition. Written accounts of African mythology exist in modern times, thanks to the work of present-day scholars working to record the continent's myths and legends before they are lost to time and cultural change. With that being said, let's get into the 8 most famous gods in African pantheisms, shall we? Number 8. Asasiya. Asasiya is a goddess in Ashanti mythology, and she is an important figure in many religious and cultural traditions in Ghana and other parts of West Africa, such as Ivory Coast. Asasiya is the goddess of earth and fertility, and she is often depicted as a nurturing and protective. Asasiya is associated with the land and agriculture, and she is believed to be responsible for the fertility and abundance of the earth. In many Ashanti traditions, Asasiya is seen as a motherly figure who provides for her children and cares for them. Number 7. Legba. Legba is a deity in Fon mythology, the belief system of the Fon people of Benin in West Africa. Legba is a trickster figure who is known for his wit and clever tricks, and he is often depicted as a wise and cunning figure who is able to outsmart other animals and humans. In Fon mythology, Legba is seen as a mediator between the worlds of the living and the dead, and he is often invoked in rituals related to communication with ancestors or spirits. Legba is associated with crossroads, and he is often depicted as a guardian or protector of travelers. Legba represents the idea that there are many different paths and choices in life, and that it is important to choose wisely and carefully. Number 6. Olapa. Olapa is a goddess in Maasai mythology, and she is an important figure in many cultural traditions among the Maasai people of Kenya and Tanzania. Olapa is the goddess of the moon, and she is often depicted as a beautiful and nurturing. Olapa is associated with the cycles of life and with the passage of time, and she is invoked in prayers and rituals related to these themes. Olapa is seen as a protector and guide, and she is believed to be able to help people navigate the challenges and transitions of life. Olapa is an important figure in Maasai cultural traditions, and she is revered and worshipped by many people. Olapa's association with the moon represents the idea that life is a series of cycles, and that there are many phases and transitions that we must all go through. Number 5. Nyami. Nyami is a deity in the mythology of the Tonga people of Zimbabwe and Zambia. Nyami is depicted as a large and powerful river god, and is associated with the Zambezi River, which runs through both Zimbabwe and Zambia. According to the Tonga mythology, Nyami was once a powerful and benevolent deity who provided for his people and protected them from harm. However, one day, the Tonga people hungered Nyami, and as punishment, he turned himself into a river and flowed away, leaving his people to fend for themselves. Despite his absence, Nyami is still revered and worshipped by the Tonga people, and is often invoked in prayers and rituals related to the Zambezi River and the well-being of the community. 4 down and 4 more to go. Number 4. Ogun. Ogun is a deity in Yoruba mythology. Ogun is the god of iron, war, and the forge. He's a powerful and fierce warrior. In Yoruba mythology, Ogun is the patron deity of blacksmiths and iron workers, and he is often invoked in rituals related to these trades. Ogun is associated with war and violence. Ogun represents the idea of strength and power, and is also seen as the protector and guardian. Number 3. Horus. Horus is a deity in ancient Egyptian mythology, and he is one of the most well-known and important deities in this tradition. Horus is often depicted as a falcon-headed man, and he is associated with the kingship, protection, and the sky. According to Egyptian mythology, Horus is the son of the god Osiris, and he is considered the rightful ruler of the gods and the earthly world. In many stories and traditions, Horus is portrayed as a fierce warrior who battles against the forces of chaos and disorder. Number 2. Shango. Shango is another god in Yoruba pantheism. Shango is the god of thunder, lightning, and fire. He is often portrayed as a powerful and fearsome deity. Shango is the patron deity of justice, truth, and righteousness. And lastly, in number 1, we have Osiris. Osiris is a deity in ancient Egyptian mythology, and along with Horus, is one of the most well-known and important deities in Egyptian pantheism. Osiris is depicted as a mummified man with a crown of corn, and he is associated with the afterlife, the dead, and the concept of resurrection. He is the god of the underworld and the judge of the dead, and he is responsible for determining the fate of the deceased in the afterlife. He is a wise and just deity who is able to guide the dead to the appropriate place in the afterlife. So there you have it, the 8 most famous gods in African pantheism. As you can see, the gods and goddesses of African pantheism are varied and diverse, reflecting the many cultures and traditions that have shaped the continent. Whether they are revered as creators, protectors, or bringers of wisdom, these deities hold a special place in the hearts and minds of many Africans. Thank you for joining me on this journey through African pantheism. I hope you enjoyed learning about the rich mythology and powerful deities of this fascinating continent.